For the grand finale of our Creative Christmas series, we are going to make some crafts with some coffee pods. I am really excited about this craft. I've never done any crafting with coffee pods before. So the very first thing that I needed to figure out was how to get the coffee out of them. There was only one where I could peel the rim away and it all came off. And then every other one or every other brand that we had, I had to kind of poke it out from the middle. So sort of peel back the metal part and then get the coffee out. I wanted to be able to compost the coffee as well. So it was a little bit slow, but I kind of just sat down and did them in a batch. So get the coffee out. Some of it's quite compressed in. So I ended up also using a pencil just to poke it in to get it out. So I did a whole batch of these and then I washed them to make sure they were nice and clean and dry before I did any crafting with them. And yes, this part was very messy. All the coffee pods are now clean and they've been emptied out of all of the coffee. I have some polystyrene balls that I had in stock. So given that the shape of the coffee pod either looks like a bucket or a hat, that's going to really help me decide what I'm going to do with these. So you're seeing me making an action here because I'm not exactly sure what the end result's going to be. The good thing about the Nespresso pods is the metal, it's easy to pierce, and it also, some of them have holes in the top of them already. These ones here, it was quite easy to take the rim off, so I might make something different with these. I have 5 of those, and this is quite a cool one. So I'm just going to make sure it's all clean on the inside. And I think this will just be the first of many coffee pod crafts, but I'm going to do a nice simple one for Christmas that you could do in an afternoon. So depending on what you had, if you have wool, if you have felt, you could use that, like a felt ball, anything that's a round in shape. So you can make like a little creature like this, a little hat. But the first thing I'm going to do is poke a hole in the top. So for this, you can either use a knife or a pin. So for example, if you don't have either of those, just gonna get a pencil and in the center here, just go through the center like that, right? From the inside out and start twisting around, poking it through, and it'll punch a hole in the top. Now, just make sure that that's nice and neat. Then I'd push it from this side through. Now, then I'm going to get some string. So I'm doing this before. So for that, I get the tails and I punch the tails through. Put these inside. Now, if you have a bauble or something that you can put on here, that would work well. I'm just going to knot this several times. And for this project, I'm actually going to use my gun for this project because it's just going to make my job a lot easier. So I'm going to use my glue gun to stick that in there. And then you can sort of decide what shape head do you want your person to have. For this, you can paint these, you cover them with tissue paper. I've got some markers, so I'm going to have a go at using the markers on them. And I'm going to start by giving my little elf some eyes. I have some wool as well, which I think could be kind of cute for the hair. So just show you a few options. So this is hot enough. So with the glue gun, I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this part here, pull it in like that, and use like a stick or something just to secure that in place inside. I think so. Now I'm going to work on the head. So give him a little head nose. rosy red cheeks. So then we have a green bow tie. Add as much detail to your little elf as you like. I think my guy's starting to turn looking like a little bit of a clown with his red cheeks, but I still think he's very cute. So I'm just painting in his face and his eyes here. So just make sure that you know which way you want the little coffee pod to go on, just like that. And then we're going to add some hair. So for this, I think I'll go for the cream hair, and I'm going to cut kind of long lengths of it and then glue it down using the hot glue gun to the head. So if you didn't have a hot glue gun, you could maybe use some tape or some PVA glue and just let it set. But the hot glue gun really helps with this project and makes it a lot easier to complete. So this is long at the moment, but I can chop it later on. It's just easier if I don't cut it too short. So put the glue onto the polystyrene ball, and it might be handy to have a second pair of hands for this just to hold the polystyrene ball steady, or you could tape it to the table and lay the wool on top. Remember, this part's going to be hidden by the coffee pod anyway. So lay it on top, just add as much hair as you want, and then we're going to move on to putting the hat on. Then to attach the hat, which is our coffee pod, just put glue around the rim. Again, be careful if the glue gun is very hot, maybe get a second person to help with this. So when you have the glue on the rim, just place it down on top of your little polystyrene head. And there you go. I also gave my guy a little bit of a haircut. At the moment he looks like he's kind of wearing a wig, so just use my scissors to chop some of the hair off his little head. And there we have my first little coffee pod craft, a little seasonal decoration to hang from your Christmas tree.